It is one thing. You don't often whip marbles at people, and I think they did it right as we were cutting away.
That's like a game, like it's like a Great Depression child's game. It's hucking marbles at each other.
Oh,
and
yeah.
here we are, 2025, running it back.
Juicers banning the Mewtwo and Eldegoss. BH3 banning the Umbreon. And our final ban for them is going to be our top band, it looks like, throughout the tournament, and that's going to be Blissey.
I like that. Roland can play so many different things. They also, similar to like a team like Luminosity or Fennel, like to play unconventional picks in that support role. I keep thinking of Roland's Mr. Mime from Worlds and how good that was, and I hope that's a Pokemon they want to go back to. Giving Flareon's the kid Inteleon, picking it early is a great look. Make them comfortable, and Flareon's on this Pokemon is a difference maker.
Yeah, we have the intel. That is huge. It is their happy place, right? So I'm surprised that they were able to get that, but at the same time, there are a lot of Pokemon that you want to take away from a team like the Juicers. We've got the Psyduck and Aegislash for BH3. These are huge picks. OG has been on this Zacian for a while. It really does feel like a staple for them. And as we're taking a look at the rest of the picks right here, we've got Trevenant locking in for Zugrug. I've noticed the past, few times I've seen Zug, he has been all over the tree.
The repositioning of the tree is awesome, right? Trapping, especially next to a Zacian, trapping a character, repositioning them, keeping them from escaping. A nice, Sableye
Yes.
still my heart. Pick rate at 3%. We just saw Sableye banned out from under Rex in the last matchup. So NA giving Sableye a lot of love, which I have to say, I appreciate personally.
Yeah, and of course, Dodrio. I mean, we're both getting something that we love here, Dupe Snacks. I've got the three-headed bird. You've got the little goblin, the little gentleman on the side of the Juicers. Final pick over to BH3. This Pokemon we've seen Volto on earlier, I believe, was the Cerulege, but no, instead we're going with Mimikyu.
I'm trying to think if I like the Mimikyu here.
If it catches Dodrio or Inteleon with a Shadow Sneak, you know, it's nice. The fear stops the sprint gauge. Even if you try to Fell Stinger away, you know, you can't do much because Shadow Sneak has, you know, complete global presence once it's on you. So there are some options for sure. And it has a Shutdown Unite move. That Shutdown Unite move, incredible against the bird if it's getting super mobile.
Yeah, I guess the Inteleon, you know, it's going to be a snipe shot Inteleon if Flareon stays in the course that they typically do. So Mimikyu does play decently well into that. You know, if you can hit a big Shadow Sneak and get into the back line, you can really eviscerate Inteleon quickly. Jury's out for me, but we'll see how it shakes.
Yeah, we'll see how it looks, right? I feel like Mimikyu, you know, it either sinks or swims super hard. It's either it's carrying a team or it just feels like it's an odd pick for some of these situations here. But this is an exciting composition for sure from BH3. They have Psyduck, they have Aegislash, they have Ho-Oh. I mean, they have a lot of incredible options.
I'm thinking back to the bans real quick. Eldegoss getting banned, 4% ban rate. But a lot of respect to Greg on the side of BH3, who has taken that Pokemon, and we saw them kind of go Eldegod in one game, getting like 5 knockouts, kind of leading the team in that aspect. And of course, just an A-press demon as that Pokemon is.
Well, here we go. Orange Juicers, BH3. Orange Juicers are your purple team. BH3 Esport, your orange team. It's NA versus EU, our top 8. These are all single elimination as we are watching Sableye dart across the map and look to see if it can take any of these wild Pokemon away from the Mimikyu.
Yeah, Ho-Oh actually stuck around with the Mimikyu, and Rolling actually playing it slow, able to take that wild Pokemon out from under Volto. Here comes Fizzy back with the support. Roland's going to try to go Invis here and get out. No, they're coming straight back for more smoke. See if they can take some of this experience out from under Volto.
Wow, I think they did, right? Yeah, that brings them up to 9.
And they were successful.
They were successful. They were able to take that. We now have the red buff that is being attacked here by the Mimikyu. Roland going to run away from this fight. It's going to steal all of the berries here on the side from this Espeon. They made it to the bottom path. Now that those berries are gone, they are aware that, you know, Sableye was there. Something happened here. Dodrio now moving to the top path. You can see Mimikyu level 4, but they do have some of this experience behind the goal zone to hand over to it.
And Sableye also level 4, keeping pace with everybody on BH3. Nice engage of fear off that auto and get themselves a knockout. And be still my heart. I'm loving this.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so fun to watch a top-tier Sableye player. We have this Ho-Oh.
You've played with me.
Yeah, well, it's cool to see another is obviously what I meant, guys. Come on.
Fizzy trying to do their best Sableye impression here and do an invade for themselves, working on this red buff and kind of all alone, which I wish we'd see maybe something else as they're working through that, and we've got a counter invade happening, so we're just ships in the night here.
Yeah, I mean, this is always so fun. This season's stats, by the way, coming into this match, Orange Juicers has a 71% win rate, 55 wins, 22 losses, and BH3 has a 57% win rate, 25 wins, 19 losses, but this is the time to be winning here in the AOS Cup, and they are doing just that.
Doing a great job working with the fear out of Invis that Sableye gets to really help a target retreat and allow Kratos to lay in some damage and really remain unscathed. And that's how they're going to be operating with Roland on this Sableye. It's kind of an engagement option for them, fear away some targets, and then jump on top of them where they can't act.
This is really nice. I mean, a huge start here for the Juicers. However, it looks like the Dodrio does go down. It was caught on the other side of the map here, so they give up a ton of experience there. We've got the snipe shot online, however, for Flareons, and now that's almost a level 9 Inteleon here at 7 minutes, 20 seconds. This is huge.
Yeah, I mean, the snipe shot dealt almost 2/3 of that Ho-Oh's life. It quickly gets feared, which allows it to get closed out by Woodhammer and a auto attack from the Inteleon. Nice Dodrio unite. Wide guard is there. They still have enough in the tank to get the knockout. They do. Now Greg is trying to surf themselves away so they don't fall victim of Kratos.
That was extremely aggressive from Kratos right there, but I do love how they decided to play that. You saw the Shadow Sneak catch him right into the play rough, and this is something I talked about with Dodrio. If you hit the Shadow Sneak on Dodrio, because it's global, because it has fear, and it ruins the sprint gauge, it's actually a really solid counter to the bird. Feels like everything counters the bird these days, but that is a great one here, and I think that's part of why BH3 was looking for this Pokemon. Snipe shot coming in, but oh no, not too late. I was looking at the objective Skier top.
Yeah, Espeon with a nice attempt here. Sableye getting a knockout on that Espeon. Fizz is going to go down here in short order as well. And Orange Juicers are just moving incredibly well around this map. Notice that Kratos is playing the tri-attack, the drive-by bird. So it's going to try and run by, pop in some damage, and engage if it's got a window. And that makes it just at least a hair harder for the Mimikyu to trap it in its Unite move.
That's right, it's going to try and tri-attack.
There you go. Okay.
Go.
What's that, production?
I got to get out of here.
He's fired? Okay, great. After the Marvelous debacle from yesterday and whatever that was.
No, that was clearly a good bit.
That was
so good they brought it back today. Here we are. Dodrio heading back into their central area. Level 11, by the way. Level 11 Dodrio, level 11 Inteleon on the side of Juicers. They are absolutely in control of this game. And Flareon's getting online with their best Pokemon is so scary for BH3. You look at the other side of the map, you've got a level 11 for the Mimikyu and a level 9 for the Aegis Slash, level 8 only for the Espeon, so we're pretty far behind.
Nice pressure. Of course, we saw the Psychic right there try and trap. Dodrio Unite right back in the middle. Coup de Grace is going to get the Dodrio here. Espeon Unite just in time. KO Shrikatu for the sword. BH3 saw their opportunity, and they are seizing it. OG goes down now. Nice fear. We're going to run through them, trying to pick their pockets a little bit. Sableye is going to get low, and they're getting beat up too. Ho-Oh in the background, flame throwing on the water type, but all that does is open up this T1 goal zone for a bunch of points to get put in.
Massive plays right there from BH3. We saw the Mimikyu do exactly what I was talking about earlier. You know, once it hits that Shadow Sneak on Intel or Dodrio, they really have nowhere to run, even if they fell Sting or even if they try to jump kick, try to get away. It has global presence, choosing the moment to jump in and picking up another KO. It actually has been a really solid counter to the Juicers. However, the Juicers have just been running this match in so many ways. That last fight, though, massive coup de grace Unite move from the Aegis Slash brings them a little closer to OJ.
Yeah, that's true. And it's going to be a little bit harder to match this experience level because Orange Juicers did just take the Basement Reggie, which offers experience across your team, whereas, oh, nice Unite move. This is more of a defensive one, and Dodrio sorts it out. So trying their best to get out of dodge, unsuccessful there for BH3. What I was going to say is Orange Juicers get the Basement Reggie, which is kind of that global experience, and the Regieleki, when you take that, it's just whatever Pokemon are around it that get that experience. So a little bit tougher for BH3 to catch up, and they are behind in that aspect.
They're behind in that aspect. They're slightly behind in score, but things are getting a lot closer. It feels like they've had some really nice moments. They were looking to possibly break this goal zone, but obviously the Orange Juicers were making sure that did not happen there in the bottom path. Top path, we have a Tier 1 goal zone still up for BH3. Bottom path, a Tier 1 goal zone up for Orange Juicers. These are nice scoring opportunities, but also you would want to keep them around for these teams because they give you a ton of presence on the map. You have the flux zone, so it's easier to move in and out, and you of course have an area where you can get shields and healing. It's massive to keep these up, but it's also great for your opposing team because at Rayquaza, you can sneak in and score a lot. Dodrio is perfect for that.
Really is. Zugrug moving forward, going to try and poach all the birds. Pretty successful as Kratos and Flareons are there to put damage on them and get that experience away from BH3. Now, I've seen that Shy is up top on that sword and was hanging out looking for a catch. They haven't really done anything. They could have gotten some wild farm and maybe gotten to level 13 to try and match what the Juicers are doing. They went for the pick option and never materialized.
Yeah, you know, they've got the 50 points, so they're hoping they can maybe make a score. They're hoping they can catch possibly someone. But with high-level Pokemon up there in the top path, that being the Zacian, it was hard to make it work. 2:40 on the clock. We've got an objective spawning in the bottom path, and we will also have Regieleki in the top path, but it's a lot closer to Rayquaza, and we're going to have to see if they decide to take it or not. Multiple members of the Juicers in the bottom path looking for this, as we have Ho-Oh just kind of cruising through the middle area right there, looking to grab some experience and looking to break that goal zone. They do.
They are successful. Now, Sableye is going to be able to get a ton of vision, and Kratos with this Dodrio can stress the goal zones without necessarily having to deal with Rayquaza just yet. So they're putting a lot of pressure here. 207, 204.
Yeah, this is happening right now. With Ho-Oh gone, this is the fight immediately, Dupesnax. They're going for it.
And they have to do it a lot more than that. Quickly going down as the Aegislash. Trevenant is popped, but it's going to be really all for naught for BH3. Greg's getting chased down. The Mimikyu's downstairs, and the Ho-Oh is finally back, but they've split the attention of this team, and they're for some reason chasing them quite a bit. Roland still standing in the pocket as this Zacian is just getting burned down. Sableye Unite comes out, doesn't hit a soul, and now they're going to move through, finally engage on Mimikyu, use the Unite move, but they're gone. Fizzy's trying to hang tough, uses their Resurrection there. Mimikyu will come back. They're all waiting for him. They're going to put them in the absolute spin cycle, Horn Leech into the wall, pin them to the wall, and leave them stuck there. Fizzy hanging out, trying to do their best, but they're getting bullied all over the map. Finally chased down, put down, 307 to 24.
Yeah, Juicers are up, and they're up in a big way on this fight. We do have Espeon making a sneaky score in the top path right here. We're going to see how much they put in. Not enough. Only brings it to 260. They are still behind. We have Aegislash engaging against the Inteleon, and we have Zugrug running up to the top path here. Sableye picks up a big KO as Zugrug is now zoning out here at Rayquaza, making sure it has vision on the Pokemon coming in. It's going to feel like a villain right now as it did catch multiple members of BH3, so Juicers know exactly where they are.
Fizzy going to try and burn down the forest, be unsuccessful, as now the Sableye goes to work and does what they do, putting in some back cap, cheeky action here. OG going to step forward, throw some damage in, and I'll be honest, this thing kind of fizzled out quickly for Fizzy and BH3 because Orange Juicers just felt in control.
Yeah, they were absolutely in control, and really the entire fight happened because Ho-Oh broke that bottom goal zone and got caught by multiple members of the Juicer. Once Ho-Oh was down, they knew that they didn't have access to that very powerful Unite move to revive multiple members of their team, and they were also down a member at Rayquaza. Without question, it was the biggest mistake of the match for BH3. Ho-Oh going down just led to an absolute disaster for BH3.
I'm not even sure what the value was there. I mean, the overcap incredibly well done. Orange Juicers have to feel good about that performance. If I'm across the way from them, BH3, the first thing I'm thinking of, let's find out what else Flareons can play.
Yeah, I really don't want them to have Inteleon. I do not want him to have Inteleon at all. Obviously, that Sableye is a real problem, too. Look at that first ban. Yeah, absolutely. That was so devastating that they let Flareons have their best Pokemon.
I agree completely. Now, Flareons did have some cracked games on Espeon as well.
Wow, look at that. Look at those bans. They're right, by the way. They're right.
I agree. Like, beat us with something else then.
Yeah.
And it looks like Blissey might remain available here. I don't know where this ban is going to go. The Duck is obviously not a bad choice. Dialed in specific BH3 ban on Urshifu. So now we've got a lot of cool toys in the mix.
Yeah, well, they're going to go with their first pick right here. We're going to see what they decide that is. Scrolling through a few options here. Looks like they're going to switch over with, of course, Blissey.
Yeah.
If Blissey's available, it's probably making it into a match. Its ban rate is the highest in our tournament for a reason. Such an incredibly impactful support. The Bliss Assistance, its Unite move, is a real get-out-of-jail-free card for so many bad situations. As we have Yeah, I mean, the duck and the tree. This is pretty great for the side of Juicers. They get the defender that they've wanted the whole time. And now, instead of Sableye, they play a crazy, powerful Pokemon that I think most teams would pick many times over Sableye, and that is Psyduck.
Yeah, for sure. Psyduck is a terrific Pokemon. It's crazy strong. It is engaging. It helps the team engage, similar to Sableye, but I think there's just more general fight utility in the Surf, in the Psychic, and that is unsurprising. Flareon's is nasty on Electro Drift Miraidon, and of course, OG is going to keep picking Zacian if it's there.
Yeah, here we go. Zacian locked in. It really does feel, I'm curious what they would grab. You know, what OG would grab or what the Juicers would want OG to play if they were not getting Zacian, but we are not in that reality because they have to target ban 2 players of the Juicers. So we have final picks being Snorlax and Zeraora. Zeraora is an interesting one, right? It's a Pokemon that has seen some success, but I feel like more often than not, when it's picked, the team that picks it eventually loses the tournament. That's just all. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams try it at high level, and there are some really good moments for it. I remember Luminosity last year at Worlds. Like, there were some good moments for it, but in general, it feels like one of the least consistent choices from speedsters.
Yeah, I agree. Kratos rounding out with Absol, a Pokemon that you and I were talking about that, like, man, we're surprised we're not seeing more of that. It feels awesome right now. And look at this. Again, texture of the tournament changes, right? Aegislash, something that we could have claimed to be banned earlier, kind of makes it into the second round of picks to EU because NA and the Orange Juicers right now are prioritizing, getting the Trevenant online for fear of losing that. And that's how crucial it is to Zugrug and the Orange Juicers strategy at this point in time.
Yeah, Flareon's is really strong on this Miraidon. When I see that item set up, the special attack specs and a full heal, this leads me to believe that we are seeing the Electro Drift Miraidon. We've seen them play this so well. We also saw a really unfortunate play with this, if I'm remembering right, in our last monthly when they ran into Luminosity. I remember an Electro Drift and immediately being caught by a Zoroark Unite move. So while they've been incredible on this and really aggressive, they've also had some moments that have not been as stellar. Their Inteleon, however, is, miles ahead of just about everything else on the roster.
I agree. On the side of BH3, we've seen Shy on this Aegislash a few times, but now they're actually carrying the Zeraora.
And here we go. BH3, your purple team. Orange Juicers, finally, your orange team. We're in game number 2 here in our top 8. If the Juicers win this one, Doob Snacks, they are moving forward to the top 4 of this tournament.
China going to quickly work through their central area. That is something that Zeraora can do, is get into path quickly and make a difference. Volto taking a ton of damage from OG here, forced back to pad, as really OG and Roland are looking to bully a little bit with these 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, you see the stun there from the Psyduck. That's just so frustrating, so hard to deal with. And at the same time, Zacian could just rip through. It recently got that buff so where it can use its Intrepid Sword at even less Eos energy. So it's even harder to deal with early as they're getting caught here in the bottom pass. Snorlax in some trouble.
They're trying to get down Kratos, and that's a great K opener for BH3. Low on HP is Snorlax, and Zugrug is going to try to make them pay. Ultimately, it is Flareon's that ends up cashing in on them. Shy is pretty low on HP. I'd be hesitant to go back in, and so is J-Pop. Flareon's looking to put some pressure on. No, they peel back and say, we'll let you off the hook this time.
We do have Roland actually rotating down here to the bottom path. We're going to see if they can help them or if they were just used to kind of push them back in case it went poorly. In the top path, however, Absol made it up there and picked up a double KO.
Yeah, in tandem with OG, they're able to get it done. OJ looking good in the early stages, rotating well. Gave up that K opener, but are moving decent. Nice engaged by Kratos, and that's why Zeraora isn't seeing much play. Kratos was able to delete it in one fell swoop, essentially.
Beautiful stuff there from the Aegislash on the side of BH3. They were actually able to stop them from stealing away that buff, but Absol moving in, double KO in the top path, heading into the central area and picking up a KO on that carry as well. OG now moving forward. Kratos is back with another KO.
He literally stepped up, hit their button once, and he said, thanks for doing all the hard work, I'm out. And immediately ran away. Why? Because they see a Zero Aura.
The DJ Khaled of Orange Juice, another one, and he's gone. He's just gone. I guess he had something to do with that.
Adding no real value except to the tail end of the song where they just sound off with their own name and walk away. Now Kratos, making it out on a sliver of HP, goes straight to their central and going to farm back up. They're level 8, dude.
Huge. I mean, they're now 9 at 7:30. That means they're going to show up to wherever they want with an Absol Unite move. And you saw earlier with their items, Dupesnacks, an energy amplifier, which means that Unite hits like a truck, maybe even 2 trucks. If 2 trucks could be duct taped together, it would hit like that many trucks.
A train pushing 2 trucks is what that's going to be. Shy with a heavy slam engage. Zugrug, no fear, moves back. No fear in Flareons as well as they electro drift forward, electro drift backwards, and that itself is enough for BH3 to retreat.
Look at this, hiding in the tall grass, ready with their Unite move right here, and of course also their Psycho Cut. They're going to come and decide if they want to throw it right here or just use the Pursuit. They actually don't need to yet. It's just the support and defender. They're looking for a bigger target as they peel back towards the objective.
Yeah, Fizzy had no chance with the Electro Drift coming back through there. Miraidon using their Unite move actually just mainly for spacing, right? Just to put the fear of the Miraidon Absol tandem into the hearts of BH3 as this Regirock is going to be taken. Electro Drift secure. And that's an Absol Unite that was used for some reason, and Shy goes down quickly. Now, what are they going to do with this goal zone? They're moving forward. Heavy Slam is there, but it just hits Roland. Flareon tries to score. They're low on HP. E-Drift out. Zugrug's still hanging out in the pocket. Kratos full HP looking for an opportunity. Meanwhile, OG takes Regieleki up top. We're going to keep this pressure on as Snorlax takes another power nap, but we keep moving through. Orange Juicer's not done, saying it's still breakfast time here. Pour me another glass. Goal zone gone.
Massive, massive play, 0 to 176, and DJ Kratos moving through the map right here, looking for more experience, more wild Pokemon, powering that Unite move back up. They used it for the fastest secure possible, then they broke this bottom goal zone. They're leaving this top goal at 1 currently. This is huge. This is an absolute dominant performance from the Orange Juicers.
If Zug can make the trek upstairs, they have the opportunity for the biggest overcap on the team, but unfortunately, they're just not going to do that. I say unfortunately, I don't think they actually care, right? Just leave it at 1. We'll deal with it later. Doesn't matter.
Actually scoring on the tier 2 right now. No jump pads. No one can stop Zugrug. Another 29 points. Make it 0 to 195.
That is, 0 is not the score line you want in Pokemon Unite, Spriggles.
Astute observation, my friend, and that's why we are where we are. You don't want to be at 0. In fact, if I was BH3 right now, I'd want to at least be at 196.
Yeah, true. Now, you know what looks like a big 0? The largest marble in the world, found at Anaheim, California.
That's right, this August. That's where Worlds will be. But right now, we're moving in with a massive Unite move from Zero Aura and a Discharge, but it's not able to pick up a KO just yet.
Trev Unite into the Miraidon Unite catches a couple targets here. Tons of HP bars are getting shrunk as Juicers are fighting from their pad. E-Drift back to get themselves out of dodge. A couple KOs and their HP topped off. Give them 2. Fizzy is recognizing that Roland is the truer tank here. Little surf chip shot, drown on that. Sun Greg's going to have to jump somewhere. Where that decision is, they're like, I have no good options, team. Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah, this is just so rough right now for BH3. You're seeing an expertly played game here by the Juicers. Roland now heading back to their base. They're trying to take something from the central area. They peeled off after they were able to get a little bit. We have Kratos in the bottom path here ripping through the objective. As we head up to the top path, we see Flareon's the Miraidon. We also have Zacian making their way so that they can get this objective. 3 members of BH3. We're going to have to see if they want to fight here after the Reggie Steel buff is secured by Absol.
OG going straight for Regieleki, recognizing that there's 3 players. Flareon steps up with the Miraidon as well. We've got a double back cap downstairs for 80 more points going in. Electro Drift shot forward on top of Volto. Volto taking tons of damage. Volto gone. You know what? Metal conducts electricity, I've heard, and that is no exception here as Flareon rips them apart and goes for a new target. Big power nap for the Snorlax. Fizzy go down too, and Flareon's E-Drift Miraidon is just very good.
And now we're just going to be able to clean up this Regieleki quickly. We have a member of the Juicers in the bottom path. They broke, by the way, their tier 2 goal zone in the bottom path. It is 12 to 304. Juicers, again, fully in control of this match. You can see why they're one of the best teams in the world, possibly the best team in North America. I mean, they've just been going back and forth with Luminosity every month. And right now, they look like they could win the AOS Cup with how they're playing. That's a level 13 Miraidon, a level 13 Absol, a level 14 Zacian on the side of the Juicers. Things are looking pretty bleak for BH3.
Yep, I mean, another Maridon United I think I just saw was used there, and they're just putting pressure on keeping BH3 from really existing anywhere on the map. OG trying to get vision, and this is kind of an OG standard, right? Get very far forward. Now, it costs them sometimes, but most of the time it works out because the vision and the information they get really helps them out.
And we have Snorlax right here trying to stop OJ a little bit. Now, massive Horn Leech. They're actually moving in for a little bit of a fight. Maridon moves and catches 3 with that trip, but it does finally go down to the Zeraora. Here we go. They're going to actually peel away from this. 2:30 on the clock. So while that was a great exchange for BH3, it's clearly not the Rayquaza fight that they were looking for just yet. We have an objective spawning in the bottom path in 5 seconds right here. And the Juicers, even though they lost that exchange, they actually could take this. It looks like they're going to be positioned around Rayquaza, though.
Yeah, leaving OG again to get vision. Zug circling up front, might be able to find themselves a Blissey quickly as they are right there on the doorstep.
Yeah, and here we go. Getting ready for Ray. This could be BH3's last Rayquaza of this tournament. They need a win right here. The single elimination bracket means they would be heading home if they don't get this. If the Juicers do, however, the Juicers would head into the top 4 of the AOS Cup. Looking for a catch. Not able to make it happen, but a Horn Leech onto the Blissey.
Trevor Unite popped up, and they're going straight towards Greg. They want to take them out. A couple marked by the curse. Meteors crash to Earth. Heavy Slam is there. No follow-up, separating them from the rest of the squad. Zugrug sitting up front. E-Drift back. Fizzy low on HP. Heavy Slams in. Power Naps on top. Volto goes with a Sacred Sword right on top of Zugrug. They're low HP. J-Paw gets hit by the Psychic. Roland doesn't pin him in spot, though. Volto goes straight forward. Wide Guard doesn't stop anything. And now BH3 rotating back in. Sacred Sword in. Electro Drift hits a ton of targets again. They're in the back line. And Shinon can't cash in on Flareon's that time. Trying to go down. Mewtwo wide does. Volto back in the middle. Electro Drift on them. We're in the back line here. Kratos needs to re-engage. They pop their Unite move. Can they eviscerate a target? Another player down for BH3. Zugrug is trying to get on top of Fizzy, but they put up the block, get the big shields, and now their HP pool is just free for the ripping. They're going for it, and OG gets credit. And really, right now, OJ has to do nothing but hang out.
Yeah, they have to do nothing but hang out, but they're going for Rayquaza. It looks like they're going to rip this one off the map. Now, again, they don't need this at all. It is 12 to 304, Whoa. But they're taking away the win condition right here, and they do. It's gone. Ray is gone. 35 seconds left. There's unfortunately no hope for BH3 Esport as Orange Juicers put on one of the most dominant performances that we have seen in this tournament.
I'm not stunned. I'm unsurprised at how good the Juicers looked, but the fact that BH3 has kind of been on one this tournament, have looked very confident, playing very well, and then they walk into the Orange Juicers that looks like they're just playing on a different stratosphere than BH3 can even reach is wild work, and we know how good of teams that BH3 have beaten, but not today.
Yeah, the Juicers were just incredible there. You have to be feeling good if you're OJ, because you look like the team that could win this tournament right now.
Oh, without a doubt. And I mean, you look, when you have to contend, you're like, oh man, I didn't think we'd have to ban